Hello, Officer Thorrsen. Do you have some time for me?
Yes, I do. Officer Wallace.
How did you and Captain Perez meet?
I am assuming this question is irrelevant to your investigation, Officer Wallace.
Yes, it is. Please continue.
We met 3 years ago, while working on a project together. But our relationship only started 6 months ago.
What was this project about?
It was about implementing more efficient early warning systems for illegal border crossings, the details of which are classified.
So you and Captain Perez both had to deal with the rogue state authorities often?
Yes, we did.
Do your duties still include dealing with the rogue state authorities?
Yes, they do.
How often are you in contact with them?
It varies. The contact is established whenever there is a need. Sometimes we have an open channel all day long. Sometimes we go without contact for months.
Are you on friendly terms with the rogue state authorities?
Generally we are. I mostly deal with the Russians, and their officers are very kind and courteous.
If they have friendly intentions, then why do we have so much security along the border?
Why do you think they are called the rogue states? It's because we don't know what they are up to. They are very unpredictable and untrustworthy. Besides, there are vicious criminal groups over there that the Russian government has no control over. You're a peace officer. You should know about all this.
Just wanted to get the opinion of a border security expert. Do you know if Captain Perez received any type of art consultancy recently?
Antonio and art consultancy. I hardly think so.
Why not?
Officer Wallace, have you ever been to one of our living quarters on this base?
No, never had the privilege.
Let me tell you, those quarters are so cramped, there is no room to add any art objects. Plus, Antonio had no appreciation for art.
Are you sure he had no appreciation for art?
Of course. He couldn't identify a Picasso, even if it was right before his eyes.
I see. So he didn't mention any art interests to you recently?
No. Antonio and I only had a limited time together. So we usually focused on other, more immediate needs.
Physical needs?
Exactly.
When did you last see Captain Perez?
I believe it was the 2nd week of March.
And is there anything in particular that you can remember about that last meeting with him?
Nothing in particular. It was just our normal sexual interlude.
Was your relationship purely based on sex?
Of course it was. Our code of conduct requires us to have relationships, purely based on physical needs.
How about your relationships with civilians?
Same rule applies. Actually, it's even stricter. We are not to discuss any business matters with civilians.
Can you discuss business matters with a military partner?
Yes, we can, provided both parties have enough clearance.
Did you discuss business with Captain Perez?
Sometimes we did, but we preferred to do that during meetings and save our personal time for mind-clearing activities.
Mind-clearing? You did yoga or something?
More like Kama Sutra, I would say.
Oh, I see. How often did you meet, anyhow?
We met once or twice a week, for a few hours.
However, before his death, you didn't meet for over 2 weeks.
That is correct. We didn't.
Was Captain Perez on duty during the last 2 weeks of March?
Not entirely. His duties were only for a few days at most.
Then, was there a specific reason why you didn't meet during that time?
There was no specific reason. Come to think of it, we may have just been busy.
Did he have any other sexual partners that he may have been seeing at that time?
I am sure he had other partners, but I didn't care, so I never asked about them. Our exchange was on a different level. It was intense and euphoric. I am certain he wouldn't have given me up for an inferior substitute.
So there's no specific reason that you and Captain Perez did not meet?
None worth mentioning. Officer Wallace, I have something to confess.
What is it?
During our last few intimate encounters, I noticed something strange about Antonio's behavior.
What was his behavior like?
Usually, our sex was very aggressive, but on these occasions, he was more aggressive than usual for no apparent reason. Then
what?
He was crying like a baby, following our climax.
Why would anyone cry at a moment like that?
I don't know. It sure perplexed me. We unfortunately never had time to talk about it.
I don't want to take much of your time today, First Lieutenant Thorrsen. Can we continue later?
Certainly. Officer Wallace. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hyper-emotional and aggressive behavior. You heard that one before somewhere else, didn't you, Phoenix?